It's the perfect evening to work out in the garden. It's finally starting to cool off, and so I'm out here pruning some yarrow and other plants that need some cutting, just to take some of the weight off, and I wanted to encourage it to keep blooming. So I thought I'd make a really quick video on just how to prune your yarrow. When cutting yarrow back or pruning, there's a couple things you look for. Are there any dead blooms on top that are completely discolored and turning brown? If so, you need to cut those off. You can also look for blooms that are starting to fade. Like this one is a pale pink, which it should be a little bit darker like that. So see how it's beginning to fade, and it's a light pink. You think it's multiple colors on one plant, but it's really just starting to fade. So if it's starting to fade like this, it might be a good idea to go ahead and cut that, because then it will redirect any of the energy into creating more blooms later. It just signifies that I'm not ready to go to seed yet, so it just keeps producing flowers. It also gets very top heavy. As you can see, some of these are hanging and starting to kind of curve a little bit because it's trying to get to the sun, but they get top heavy, so it's always a good idea to cut them. This one is really large. This is just one bush. And if you can tell, this side of my plant, I have been cutting for cut flowers on here. And so you can see how far I've cut that back. And that will be reblooming later in the season. But you can see how far I've cut it down. So basically you're looking at the stem, and when you get down to where it really starts to produce some main leaves, you know, you've got the stems and you have some little side shoots here, but when you get down to the bulk of the plant, that's kind of where you want to cut it, kind of where the bulk of the leaves are. So, or kind of some side shoots that start coming out. So when I'm cutting this, I am going to look at the branch, and I'm going to go cut way down here. And I also want long stems for the cut flower bases, and so I'm going to cut it down here kind of at the top of the canopy of the leaves. I'm going to cut it at an angle, and then I will remove that. And same thing with this one. I'm going to look at, see, I've already cut one time, but it's very long and it's starting to kind of be misshapen. So I'm going to cut it down here. I don't want to cut it all the way to the base, but just about halfway down, so that I still have a good shaped plant, and then will just encourage it to regrow. Now, I have been cutting on this for a while. And you can see how the new leaves are softer looking, more feathery, but look, there's a new one already starting to rebloom that's down in here. But I've removed all this up here, so now sun can get down into here and it will continue to rebloom. It will also cause it to bush out, and it won't be so tall and lanky. And so I hope that helps with where to cut. Just about halfway down the stalk, where you start getting into the bulk of the leaves, is about where I cut that, and it will fill out and it will rebloom later in the season, or continue to bloom now. All right, if you like learning about flowers or gardening and how to care for them, then like us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. And happy gardening.